A landmark Supreme Court decision coming out of D.C. today as the court rules against President Trump's tariffs. Tonight, how local lawmakers are reacting.
Warmer weather returns to the inland Northwest this weekend. We're talking 40s by Saturday.
Plus, new video out of Moses Lake sheds light on the moment 5 Grant County deputies shot and killed a man on Monday. Everything we know coming up. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Sydney Schofield. Mark is on assignment tonight. New tonight, for the first time, we're seeing body camera video from Monday night's deadly shooting in Moses Lake. 33-year-old Aaron Amon was killed after 5 Grant County Sheriff's deputies fired at him. Here's a closer look at what happened, but I do want to warn you, some of this may be hard to watch. Grant County Sheriff's deputies and Moses Lake police officers showed up to a property on the 4700 block of Road L9 Northeast as part of an open investigation. As they searched several outbuildings, deputies say they found a man, later identified as Aaron Amon, with a rifle inside a small barn. You can hear law enforcement ask him to come out multiple times.
I need you to put the gun down and put your hands up and walk towards us.
You can hear Amon reply. Moments later, after more back and forth, Amon shouts, "Center mass, ready, center mass." They tell him to drop his weapon, and he says, "I'm coming out with it." The sheriff's office said that Amon, quote, came out of the barn with the rifle leveled toward law enforcement officers. 5 deputies fired at him. Here's video of that moment, which refrees the frame before that first shot is fired.
Aaron, drop the gun down! Put it down!
So many shots are fired at the same time that it's hard to count an exact number, but we do know 5 deputies fired at Amon at once. Here's the scene as soon as those shots stop. Law enforcement covered Amon in the video they released to us.
Shots fired.
The Grant County coroner confirmed he was shot multiple times, but would also not release an exact number. We know the 5 deputies who fired are all on administrative leave per protocol. Their names are Corporal Luis Jimenez, Deputy Juan Niebla, Deputy Gavin Allison, Deputy David Borden, Deputy Jordan Crouch. No members of Moses Lake Police fired during this shooting. Detectives from other agencies in the area who were not involved in the shooting are now investigating as part of the Central Basin Investigative Team. We've asked both the Grant County Sheriff's Office and the Moses Lake Police Department why they were at that property in the first place. They say state law prohibits them from telling us about Amon's criminal history or anything he might have been investigated for while the shooting is being investigated. If you want to watch that full video released by the Sheriff's Office, it is posted to our website, krem.com. And tonight, a major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court. Justices ruled against President Trump's tariffs. The justices said Trump violated federal law when he imposed sweeping tariffs across the globe by citing emergency economic authority. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote in the majority opinion that Trump needs authorization from Congress to exercise those tariffs. The justices agreed on the decision 6-3. Trump responded to the ruling, calling it a, quote, disgrace, while also announcing new avenues for tariffs.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
That 10% global tariff Trump is looking to impose under the trade law can only be in place for 150 days unless Congress votes to extend it. It's not just lawmakers reacting. We will hear from lawmakers reacting to the High Court's ruling soon, but we're also hearing tonight from local businesses about what this means for them. KREM 2's Christian Garza spoke with a business that imports their products from overseas.
The Ganesh Himal Trading Company says that it's had to pay almost an additional $60,000 just to bring all of these different goods here to Spokane.
This was something that was preventable.
For over 40 years, Ganesh Himal Trading Company has been bringing handcrafted goods from Nepal to be distributed across America. An idea started by Denise Atwood and her husband to bring economic stability to one of the poorest countries in the world. And while paying tariffs isn't something new for the company, the additional tariffs put in place back in April takes almost $10,000 every time a shipment arrives. Co-owners of Ganesh Himal Trading Company, Denise Atwood and Austin Zimmerman, say they have had to absorb the additional costs up until this point because they didn't want to disrupt the economic chain that has been built for almost half a century.
The people in Nepal don't pay these tariffs. You know, my goods come in through customs. I get charged the duty. I don't get my goods released. until I pay those taxes, those tariffs, right? So I am directly paying the taxes, right? How can that not be seen as not affecting me?
Zimmerman adds they have had to go as far as cutting their own wages for almost a year to not only retain their own staff, but make sure consumers don't feel the pinch. She says the lack of help from the government during this time has left them feeling abandoned.
How much longer can we absorb this? How long are we going to have to absorb this? You know, if I have to take a wage cut, what is that going to look like for my family? What does that look like for our employees here? Again, if sales are dropping, what does that look like for the nearly 700 producers that we provide work for in Nepal? It's a big ripple.
Atwood and Zimmerman say that while they are grateful for the Supreme Court's decision, they are still planning to proceed with caution, especially ahead of their next shipment here in March. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's take a quick break from the headlines and get a look at our weekend forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo joining us in the Outdoor Weather Center. How's it looking out there, Jeremy?
Oh, Sydney, I didn't even see you at the desk. It's looking beautiful out there, though. Up in the mountains, a little bit of cloud cover. Here down low, a lot of cloud cover as well. But things are changing. That cloud cover moving in is a sign of that change as we get closer to the weekend. We didn't hit 30 today. It was a cold one for us and still stays on the chilly side of things. Believe it or not, our high temperatures are supposed to be back near 40 by mid-February. However, we are going to get there quite quickly. We have a storm sliding its way to the south and then moisture coming in from the south. So it's a storm moves from north to south, moisture goes from south to north, and that's what's going to bump our temperatures up. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to mid-20s pretty widespread. By tomorrow afternoon, we're climbing into the mid-40s pretty widespread. A big turnaround, all thanks to that push of moisture bumping those temperatures up. That comes with cloud cover. So the day starts out a little bit more clear, gets a little cloudier, but by Sunday, we're talking more widespread rain hitting later in the day. It's one of those patterns where we're going to see a few scattered showers during the day, but our temperatures are going to soar. 43 tomorrow, 48 Sunday, 46 on Monday. And just remember, tomorrow morning winds up quite chilly before we get that big kick in our temperatures by the afternoon.
Jeremy, thank you. A Boise woman is among the 8 people killed in an avalanche in California earlier this week. According to a statement from a PR firm representing the families, Liz Claybaugh from Boise was part of a 15-person backcountry ski touring group caught in that avalanche Tuesday morning northwest of Lake Tahoe. It happened during a powerful winter storm. We know that 6 skiers survived and they were found in a makeshift shelter. This is the deadliest avalanche in the U.S. since 11 climbers were killed on Mount Rainier in 1981. The families of 6 of the victims released a statement saying in part, quote, they were all mothers, wives, and friends, all of whom connected through the love about the outdoors. They were passionate, skilled skiers who cherished time together in the mountains. 5:30 at 5 o'clock. After the break, we head to the Gem State, where many new bills are making their way through the legislature. We break everything we know down for you in 3 minutes. And then later in the show, we'll head to Seattle, where one iconic market is getting a new look. What we know coming up.